This is the test. This is the test. I had to plug in. I had to move things in my house. I had to move most. Yeah, the most late stream ever. But I think we got it. The Wi-Fi has finally stabilized. I had to move things from one room to another. I had to mess up my whole house's setup to get this to work. Plug in an Ethernet cord into the Google Home system directly. And like, first I had to bring back an old thing that was kind of working. This is working better. Hey Vash. Been a while, actually. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, because I know you've been busy. But, dude, you don't even know. The last 3 days, I was playing Marvel Rivals. I was teleporting. I was Venom, by the way. Yesterday, I was teleporting. I could not see. I was fighting ghosts. In Marvel Rivals, if you don't know anything about that game, if you're playing Venom, you play a very important role. You are a dive character, which means that you attack the healers. That's your whole thing. So imagine my struggle when I cannot see the healers. Also, glad you're doing okay, Vash. Glad you're doing fine. But it's been bad for like 3 days. 3 days of just constant stuff just not working. Just in this room. But I made it work. I figured it out. We got something working. I don't know if this is a long-term solution, but this is at least a solution for today and until if anything goes wrong in the future. You know what I'm saying? The internet is finally interneting. Yes, it's finally interneting. So we can finally get to the main topic, which you could ignore all the speed tests and stuff I was doing. Main topic. This is our main topic. This is more of a discussion stream than, let me get my headphones on, just in case anyone hops in call. This is more of a discussion stream than normal, alright? It's like, because this is for me to have recorded documents of this whole ordeal, so when I eventually make a Sonic Timeline video, I have the receipts, alright? So this is now the current official timeline. So you guys have probably all seen it. Y'all have read it. Y'all either think this is stupid. Yeah, we got a professional debate. Yeah, it's like y'all either think this is stupid to talk about because it's a timeline, it's Sonic. Who cares? I've seen some people like there's people in the Discord who like were saying this whole timeline thing's stupid. This series doesn't make any sense if it has a timeline, and I say, screw you. It is way more fun if we try to make sense of the insanity of the Sonic world than if we just say, oh, it's insane, whatever, who cares, there's no timeline, there's no canon. No. I say, let's interact with this thing. Let's interact with this thing. So, like the prehistory stuff, we know. Dark Gaia, Light Gaia stuff. At some point, I love the vagueness. This is just how this world works. It just destroys it and restarts it over millions of years. They do that. They were doing it. This confirms. They were doing it. As I said, by the way, Sonic fans, don't worry. I have an explanation. It has been. I'm pretty sure that this is not in a timeline of every single Sonic game. It is just a timeline of the Sonic games that have something important to the plot. All right. So it does not mean that they're not canon, especially considering some of them wouldn't make sense. Like Sonic and the Black Knight isn't on here, but literally something in Sonic the Black Knight references something that happened in Sonic Unleashed, and the storybook games are referenced in Sonic Generations. So we know these games happen. It's just that they weren't on this timeline because they weren't considered that important to the main story. This is the main story. Basically, this is Sonic Team basically saying what they say is the mainline games. These are the games that if you wanted to follow some sort of narrative throughout all the games in the series, this is the list of games that have narrative weight. All the other games don't have that much of it. Oh, hey, Super, it's been like forever. Still aren't canon, but Sonic Shuffle is. We Live in Clown. The storybook games are canon. They are canon. This isn't a canon list. This is just a general timeline. Sonic Shuffle is a part of the main story. They're gonna reuse that character at some point. You know Ian Flynn has that in his back pocket. You know he's gonna go like, the villain from Sonic Shuffle, y'all didn't see that one coming, did you? Like, it's gonna come back. Or they're gonna make a Sonic Shuffle 2, okay? That's all that confirms, that they consider that main. But this is main story, like things that affect the narrative. The storybook games don't affect anything, because Sonic literally never talks about it, except one time in Generations, and to Amy at the end of the Sonic and the Black Knight. It's just not something that comes up. It doesn't affect the wide world of Sonic or introduce a new element to the universe, so they don't put it in this timeline. But games aren't mentioned in Gen's remaster, so technically not canon. No, that line's still there. I'm pretty sure, right? Let me check. See, this is why we do this live. Let's check the Gen's cutscenes. Sonic X Shadow Generations cutscenes. These are just the shadow cutscenes. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and also Dino Jungle is in Crossworlds, so it is real. It did happen. Finding evil genies or saving... Yeah, no, Secret Rings has been mentioned in a game, number one. And number two, it's going to be in Sonic Crossworlds. So the thing is, it is canon. Don't worry about the storybook games. Both of them are canon. They did happen. They just aren't important to this timeline, which is more of a streamlined timeline of the world. Because there are games that we know that happen, because they don't mention Knack's introduction, because we know that Triple Trouble has to be canon, because that's when he got introduced. But it's not on this list, but he's in Superstars. You see what I mean? Like, there's games that they skip. So we know that there are games that can, and that's what the stream's really going to be about. It's going to be filling in the blanks of what they did here. We're just going to go through this real quick. I already created a list that we could go through. What if Crossworlds isn't canon? Crossworlds is a direct sequel to Team Sonic Racing, and Team Sonic Racing is canon. Sonic Crossworlds... It's like, okay, so yeah, the ancients come in later, after, like they're like the first, like, real thing outside the dark side, and the Earth that destroys super energy life form called Dark Gaia that emerged from the core. This event was later. Okay, so we have to assume that also the ancients also survived the destruction of the Earth, that created the Chow and everything, and that's what started the current run they're on. So basically, tens of thousands of years ago, if we have to make the assumption, that means that from this point up until Sonic Unleashed was that cycle. We were on one cycle. The ancients predate the cycle of the Earth being destroyed and reforming. The ancients predate that, which is crazy, but that's what we've decided. The ancients predate Dark Gaia destroying the world. They were the people who probably wrote that stuff down or something afterwards. Like the remnants of their society, since they did trap the end in cyberspace. So they did technically win, but the society just fell apart afterwards, as most do. Also, remember, the aliens for Sonic Zero Gravity. They are important. The phase from far away goes out of control. The Babylon bandits crash onto Earth. The engine units of the ship that separated and scattered across the world, Ark of the Stars. So they are the first ancient society to enter the world after Dark Gaia is on this reset. Kind of me. I'm that crazy person. Yeah. It's like, all right, so we have that. So we know that they're the first. So now we know that the Babylonians are the first ancient society post Dark Gaia destroying the world. All right? This is the first ancient society. Also, was my like I don't have any desktop audio play, so it doesn't really matter. So thousands of years ago, Echidna tribe stuff, which I always thought I didn't realize how far back the Echidna tribe went. But I guess it went back thousands of years. Now we know. It's safe to assume that Chaos was an ancient that was corrupted by Dark Gaia, but the power of the Master Emerald left him the same. So only his body mutated, like the Echidna's basically. Yeah, a Chow. Yeah, you could assume that. Because the Chows are a remnant of those guys. They are a remnant of those guys genetically. They turned into them at some point. So the thing is, it's like we gotta assume something happened. Like, we don't know the details, and the details don't really matter. They could get into that later. So the Frontiers 2 could be a continuation building on stuff on the Ancients for all we know. But as of right now, something happened where they mutated, but they are the only remnant of a pre-Dark Gaia destruction in this current run. That's what we know. And the Master Emerald is definitely a part of why they've been able to survive. And also that means that the Chaos Emeralds, because remember, the Chaos Emeralds didn't get, the Master Emerald was always on Earth. The Master Emerald was probably always being used in the fight between Light and Dark Gaia. The Master Emerald was always around. The Chaos Emeralds got introduced later, which we could assume ramped up their fights, because basically Light Gaia was fighting Dark Gaia with no chaos, with like just the Master Emerald, and then we got the Chaos Emeralds added in later to ramp things up. Basically, the fights just got bigger. That's what we have to assume. And then Chaos is a mutated Chow. So what if Dark Gaia is to blame? I mean, hey, Dark Gaia creatures look like Chaos. It was all planned. Yes, we could say that. We could say that it's like it's a Dark Gaia thing. He got Dark Gaia, and he just happens to be immortal. Like, because remember, Chaos is immortal. He's been around forever. We don't know how long he's been around. He's just been around forever. But yeah, the Kid Tower was traveled by the Master to steal it, but their child companions are sacrificed, and the Kid tribe is wiped out. Well, we know they weren't really wiped out, because if this is thousands of years ago, and Knuckles is around. Obviously, Knuckles has parents. It's just, his parents died, and I guess they they're from a side tribe that took after Tikal or something, and wanted to protect the Emerald. And then 2,000 years ago, the Black Arms just drop off a temple. Apparently, the Black Arms are just really long planners. So 2,000 years ago, they were like, yeah, we'll get back to this world later. Didn't know people was going crazy. How do you think the ancients reacted when they got to Earth and saw fucking Satan and God? They wrote it down. That's what they did. Remember, they wrote the Gaia manuscripts. They wrote that. They said, bro, we saw some crazy stuff, man. It was insane. They wrote that down. That's what happened. They wrote that down. Yeah, the Black Arms are just really, really late. And then Emerald, which is another ancient society. So the ancient societies have been forming and falling. And that means that this ancient Emerald is actually post the Echidnas being wiped out, which I didn't know that. I thought they would have been before then, but I guess I didn't pay attention in Sonic Battle. But yeah, so the most recent ancient society is the Gizoids. Like the Gizoid one. These are the most recent ancient society in the Sonic universe. All right. We're getting to more recent, Shadow's backstory. We all know about that. Like the Gizoid that were subject to the arc went out of control, causing extensive damage. Oh no! Oh! The frames come back. The frames. There we go. It recovered. It dipped, but it came back. All right, we're still here. Write that down. But yeah, okay. Then the gun attack. We all know Shadow's history. That's not that interesting. We all know that happens. Now, what I do find funny is that how they have to incorporate Sonic 06 into this timeline is just they have to acknowledge. It's like, so Sonic and Elise went back in time. It's like, just they have to go back in time. They have to go back in time and like blow it out. It happened, just that timeline doesn't exist. It keeps getting mentioned, which is kind of funny, but it also didn't happen at the same time. A timeline just proves that Sonic Universe has like 15 separate ancient aliens all coexist. No, they kept happening after each other. You know, you have ancient civilization, and the next one replaces them, and then the next one replaces them, and the next one replaces them. They all keep failing, though. That's what's funny. All these ancient civilizations keep failing. Honestly, my headcanon is way better than this timeline. I find it's like, oh yeah, I think anyone can make a headcanon better than this timeline. There's people who have headcanons that like Blaze's universe has something to do with the Babylonians and stuff like that. You could make headcanons, but I like playing around with what's official because it's even more fun because then I'm working within limitation. Is that Sonic 06 is Adventure Time? Oh no, never mind. You're off the deep end. But yeah, so then the two separate timelines here, but like it's a closed loop, and then it like fixes itself. But we're finally to the first game, Sonic 1. All right, South Island, steal the Chaos Emeralds, prevent him from taking over the world. Then Sonic CD, which we all know takes place after Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and then all of this is Sonic Origins. I do find it funny that they use Sonic and Knuckles and not Sonic 3 and Knuckles or Sonic 3, but like whatever. Now this made a lot of people confused because they didn't think Mania was right after Sonic 3, but it is. Mm-hmm. It's like let you explain. I'll let you explain. I'll read it, but you sounds like you're wilding to me. But yeah, the Mysterious Secret Store fan will read the events of Sonic Mania, which lead into Sonic Forces, proving Sonic Mania is Sonic 4 canonically in terms of mainline classic Sonic games, and then Mania Plus, which technically isn't anything. Yeah, after saving the four Sonic Warriors away, he chases away the flying red with Mighty and Ray, who've been captured. One of them is fake. Sonic saves his friends, and then they basically do Sonic Mania again. Sonic Mania happened twice canonically. That did happen. Mania Plus is canon, which I didn't know Mania Plus was canon. I thought it was just additional DLC. I didn't know it actually happened. They actually just ran through the same levels over and over again. Classic Sonic had a really boring day. Then we have Sonic Superstars. Fang invade the North Islands. They work together to drag Trip, who lives there, around. Sonic and his friends use the Chaos Emerald's new powers, Emerald Power, and thwart Dr. Eggman and his men's evil deeds. Alright, so this is the most recent game in the classic Sonic timeline, we have to assume. This is the most recent game in the classic Sonic timeline. So any other classic Sonic games happened before it. So this is where it gets fun. Where do the rest of these games go? We could assume that Master System Game Gear Sonic 1 isn't canon. Or at least is too similar to the original story. That's not canon. That's not canon. Okay, but now Master System Sonic 2 takes place before Sonic 2. So we gotta assume that it takes place after Sonic CD. Are there any disagreements to that? Game Gear Sonic 2, if we decide it's canon, happens before Sonic 2. Right? I think we all agree on that. Right? What about Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Sonic 3 and Knuckles happens after Sonic 2. We know that. But also, let me put Mania Plus here. I didn't know that we had to put Mania Plus here. So now we have to talk about the classic games. Where do some of these go, and which one of these are actually canon? So what is Sonic 3? Sonic 3 is just the first part of Sonic and 3 and Knuckles. Like, come on. Sonic Pocket is just Sonic 1. I don't think Sonic has ever had a definite time in the series was retcon and reference to inconsistently to make me invested in piecing the puzzle together. It's more fun to piece the puzzles together and just go like, they didn't care. Why should I? No, I decide to care because it's way more fun. This is like creative writing for me. It's like piecing together some sort of timeline is very fun. And while there is some inconsistencies, the Sonic series has never been so out of step with itself that anything, like, completely contradicts something else. There's things that overlap or things that don't, like, Sonic 1 has 6 Chaos Emeralds. Sonic 2 has 7. What's up with that? You can make a point about that and just go like, they didn't find the 7th one. There. Okay, we made it. So that's why Eggman gave up and went to go do the Time Stones. Like you can create, as long as I can mentally connect stories together. I can have so much. It's like Chaotix before 3 and Knuckles and before Mania. Yeah, it has to be. Chaotix has to happen in between the two because Mighty and Ray are like Sonic knows of their existence. Which if Sonic knows of Mighty and Ray existence, which means that where is it? Where's Sega Sonic? Sega Sonic has to happen. Now the question is, where does Sega Sonic go? Does it happen but after Sonic 2? Does he have the spin dash in Sega Sonic? Let's look up some gameplay. Like because the story of Sega Sonic is very vague. Actually, let me just keep this page closed and just do Sega Sonic. Was it Sega Sonic? What's the name of that game again? Yeah, Sega Sonic arcade game. Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, 1993. Developed isometric. What's the plot? What's the plot of this game? What's the plot? Oh my gosh, I hate fandom sites. Even with ad blockers, still annoying. Dr. Eggman and Princess Sonic, Mighty, and Ray on Eggman Island full of traps and Eggman Tower and self-destruct sequence. The trio managed to flee the island. Eggman also escapes, but failed to see the Egg Mobile running out of fuel. So this can happen anywhere. It just has to happen before Mania / Knuckles Chaotix. Before CD? You guys think it would happen before? Does he have the spin dash though? Oh wait, he has the spin dash in CD too. It doesn't really matter. Sonic Heroes Charmy doesn't know who Dr. Eggman is? Well, we just gotta assume that Charmy's stupid, alright? We just gotta assume he doesn't know what's going on. We gotta assume Charmy in Knuckles Chaotix was very, very small, so he was he was an infant, basically. We just gotta assume he was an infant, alright? And then he grew up, and it's been a while, because basically the difference between classic and modern is that a time skip happens. So he just doesn't remember. He just doesn't really know, or he doesn't really pay attention. Maybe he was just there for the vibes. Maybe he was just there. Remember, Charmy's 6. We can't trust what a 6-year-old remembers. All right? Sega happens during... It doesn't happen during Sonic 1. Like, it's the same adventure. No, it's not. It's not the same adventure. Flicky comes before... Well, we know Flicky becomes before Sonic 1. We know that. Like, Flicky is pre-Sonic 1. It predates it. But like Sega Sonic, I don't know. I think we should, because Tails isn't in it, and Tails is in every adventure afterwards, I have to say it's before Sonic 2. After Sonic CD, before Sonic 2, because that part after CD to Sonic 2 is kind of vague on what could happen in between those two games. It's like also Sonic 1 to Sonic CD, but like it's like, but I would have to say I'd place it after Sonic CD and before Sonic 2 Game Gear. My evidence is I said so. What game do you think Classic Sonic is from in Generations and Forces? I already said that. The classic Sonic in the video. Remember in the video? The classic Sonic from Sonic Generations is the classic Sonic from Sonic Labyrinth. Well, I made that joke before the timeline came out. Like the events of the game, it's like Sega Sonic, the game isn't canon, like the events of the game aren't canon, but the plot is canon. Maybe, but like Sonic has to, like, we have to assume that Sonic has to have met Mighty and Ray if he knows them in Mania Plus. And Knuckles also knows them, so so we have to assume that Mighty and Ray come from like one of Sonic's first friends. Now, where do we put them? Questionable. But we know that they did happen and they did meet in the, like, that adventure is canon. That adventure has to be canon. So we have to agree on that. All right. Sonic the Fighters. We got to put that before Superstars and everything, obviously. Because because the guys are in that. The other guys, like the Fang's crew in it. So we actually should focus on Triple Trouble. Triple Trouble has to take place after Sonic 3. We all know that. It has to take place after Sonic 3. Probably before Knuckles Chaotix, because this is when... Because Knuckles still gets tricked by Eggman in that game, right? Like, Knuckles still gets tricked by Eggman in that game? I think it's not only fair for events to happen, but the game's retelling of them aren't real or accurate. Fair enough. Fair enough. They could always say that. Just go like, the game isn't actually accurate, but that did happen. But, like, it's like, we're just going off of what we have. I do think what you said is fair, though. I think we're going off of what you said is fair. Let's put that down there. Sonic 3 itself isn't canon. Only Sonic 3 and Knuckles is. Alright. Okay. So Sonic the Fighters has to take place after Triple Trouble. And again, it has to take place... The thing is, we could place it after Mania if we ever feel like it. Because there's no telling that these two games have to be right next to each other. We could put Sonic the Fighters after Mania. No, wait. Ah, man, because there's another Metal Sonic in that game. Because we got to keep track of the Metal Sonics. Because Metal Sonic from Sonic CD stays on Little Planet till Sonic 4. Sonic C, that's the same Metal Sonic. That's the same Metal Sonic, because he builds a Mecha Sonic in Sonic 3. The Metal Sonic that we know is on Sonic CD doesn't get raised till Sonic 4. So, doesn't Sonic the Fighters have an 8th Emerald? Wait, let me check. Is Sonic the Fighters even canon? Let me check. Let me check this Sonic Encyclopedia again. Where did I put it? This is why we have the facts. I spent money on this and I've gotten my money's worth. I'll tell you that. Let's look at the Sonic Encyclopedia real quick. If Sonic the Fighters is canon, because this does say if something is non-canon. Like it says Sonic Chronicles is non-canon. It didn't happen. Sonic Chronicles never happened. It's not real. Sega Sonic Arcade. Let me even read this one. Read check ball. Yeah, overview. Yeah, this one didn't even have real plot synopsis. But yeah, okay. Arcade classics. Sonic the Fighters. Okay. Eggman... okay, let me read around. Okay, only bosses became playable in the 2012 remaster. Okay, yeah, because Metal Sonic is in Sonic the Fighters, but we can't put it there. Espio is there. So I think we could put Sonic the Fighters safely after Knuckles Chaotix, right? Isn't it's like Spinball has 14. Spinball, we could assume those are not real Chaos Emeralds. They're not even different colored. And Sonic doesn't even turn super when he collects them in that game. We can assume those are not real Chaos Emeralds. We can assume those are not real ones. Yep. It's like isn't Encyclopedia still canon? It's a book and not an online forum, so they could say it's not canon anymore. Yeah, but they haven't said that this is the most recent of... This is an official document. Until otherwise, we have to go by what it says, because it is official. Until they say that it's worthless and come out with a new one. That's just generally the rules when it comes to stuff like this. Launch a Death Egg 2. Tails builds Lunar Fox, a rocket capable of reaching orbital fortress, but there are two problems. First is a single stream. Second, it's power 8 Chaos Emeralds to work. So the players, the players' characters set out to win the emeralds from the restricted guardians. Okay. So it's 8 Chaos Emeralds. I think I explained. Okay. A thing that I said quite a long while ago. Okay. Because like how they describe Sonic 2 16-bit is they say, meanwhile, Dr. Eggman discovers that West Side Island is a resting place for the full set of Chaos Emeralds. With them, he could like the full set. So we have to assume that like South Island didn't have a full set. The full set ended up resting at West Side Island later, but this is post that anyway. But like, can we assume that there are emeralds of chaos that are not real chaos emeralds? Because we do exist in the world where Sonic Adventure 2, you can build a fake emerald. Tails has done that. Fake emeralds exist. Sonic X confirms that you can build a fake emerald. Can we not assume that there are emeralds that are not real chaos emeralds? Like they don't have a direct connection to the Master Emerald out there, but have similar properties. Can we assume that? That there are fake emeralds in this world? Considering Tails has built them, and in other continuities connected to Sonic Team, they can build fake emeralds. They should let me make the timeline. It go again. Dude, I think anyone making a timeline, it'd be so fun. But yeah, it doesn't say specifically that it's non-canon. So we have to assume Sonic the Fighters happened. And we have to assume that the Metal Sonic that is built in this one is not the same Metal Sonic from Sonic CD. It is a new Metal Sonic variant. Now the question is, now this is going to get where it's get confusing, because Metal Sonic is basically the connecting key of all this. Because Sonic 4 insists that that's the same Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, we can assume that the Metal Sonic in Sonic Mania is the same Metal Sonic from Sonic CD because we're on Little Planet. We are still on Little Planet, and when we destroy him, he's still on Little Planet in Sonic 4. So we can assume these two are the same. Now, the real question is, did Eggman build another Metal Sonic? And I have to assume in Sonic the Fighters, they did. He built another Metal Sonic. Blazes World, Sonic Rush. Yeah, Blazes World, they have the Soul Emeralds, but that's a different set. That's not the Chaos Emeralds. But because it needs the power of 8 Chaos Emeralds, we can assume that there are fake emeralds. And considering Sonic Spinball has 14 Chaos Emeralds, we can assume that not every Chaos Emerald is one of the main ones. If they made Sonic 06 the first game in canon, and then the candle being blown was a complete reset, everyone would be happy. That actually would be funny. Well, I don't think everyone would be happy. There'd be some people who were mad that Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 is actually the origin point of Sonic the Hedgehog 1991. I think some people would be mad about that. It'd be funny though. I'd actually take it. I'd take that. That'd be a really cool idea. I'm not gonna lie. Where like that like is the original story, and then like the games only happen after 06 gets the. I mean, technically that's what happens. Technically, I mean you could always see it that way, you know, because there's nothing stopping you from believing that. Because when they go back in time 10 years and blow the candle, that changes the trajectory of all their lives. And 06 is was supposed to be a reboot anyway. So, you know, you could always move that around. But, okay. So I have to assume that there are fake emeralds in the Sonic universe. Because we see them all the time. There are emeralds that are not real. So, because there's 14 emeralds in Chaos Emeralds in fucking just because, okay, I guess the best way to say this, just because there are Chaos Emeralds, that does not mean they are the Chaos Emeralds. You know what I mean? It's like the Keyblade and the Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts. There's a main set of 7 Chaos Emeralds, the OGs, the one that the Ancients brought to Earth, that synergize with the Master Emerald directly. But maybe Earth had a bunch of Chaos Emeralds on it over time that don't really apply. Like they don't have the same strength that the Chaos Emeralds that we use consistently, especially in the Adventure era, forward. But not in the classic era where like there's just other emeralds around. There is always emeralds. But these are the ones. Like these are the main Chaos Emeralds. Sonic 1 also has different emeralds because of the shape and number, which means it's entirely possible Chaos Emeralds copies, not fakes, but emeralds inspired from the original 7. Yeah, it could be that, or there were emeralds already on Earth that just do not have the same properties that the main 7 have. Like, those are the Chaos Emeralds, you know? It's like fighting, it'd be like finding moissanite instead of diamond. You know, they look the same, they have very similar properties, but they don't have the same durability. You know? These are moissanite Chaos Emeralds. Because the thing is, why would Tails' plane require 8 Chaos Emeralds when 7 Chaos Emeralds bring together infinite energy? He wouldn't need more than 7, unless they weren't using real Chaos Emeralds. Ancient civilizations, it's possible rumors spread across a globe, globe about the ancients. Exactly. Especially considering it's implied that they're the ones who wrote the Gaia manuscripts. Like, they're the guys who wrote that stuff. So we gotta, like, you know, stuff has gone around. Like, these are the Chaos Emeralds, not creations that are like the Chaos Emeralds. Because it is possible. It is possible. That's all I'm saying. So if we're gonna go with that headcanon, remember, this is headcanon now. Now we're in headcanon territory. But that's why this is fun. It's like we should put Sonic the Fighters before Mania. Actually, we could put it after Mania and get the same result. Yeah, let's put it after Mania, so we could assume that Dr. Eggman isn't reading. Let's put it after Mania, but before Superstars, because Knack's in it. And I think the best place to put it... Oh, no! Bean and Barker and Mania. Bean and Barker and Mania. They gotta be before. Sonic has to know they exist. So it has to be before Mania. Sorry, almost messed that up. Like Dragon Balls, Dragon Realm only has 3 Dragon Balls. Yeah, like they're spin-offs of the originals. You know, like, yeah, that makes sense. We could roll with that. Dragon Ball is an inspiration for the series anyway. Sonic R. Is there anything lore specific? There's another Metal Sonic in that one. So let's assume that it's like, but it's not the Metal Sonic from Sonic CD. It's a fake Metal Sonic. We gotta assume that. So let's assume Sonic R, he wouldn't have been destroyed. So let's just put him right before that one. Because Tails Doll, Mecha Knuckles, Egg Robo. Yeah, Sonic R. What like, is there any plot relevance to Sonic R? Let's check. Just drifting with Sonic. There's the Sonic Drift games. Let's see. Did anything of note? Those are the learning games. Not this Chaotix. Tails Adventure. 3D Plus. Oh yeah, Tails Adventure. Actually, before we go to Sonic R. Solo unique, and Tails is always in flight, flinging a ring like boomerang to solve puzzles. Tails has to keep his stamina, avoid collisions, stay airborne. Tails can either pelt them repeatedly with his rings. Tails comes to a remote island and finds Anatomy. The wicked witchcraft uses the wicked witch cart uses the island's railways to travel to all points and trap its inhabitants with enchant crystal magic. Tails sets out to save the island from witchcraft and their minions. Now the real question. Now, was this... Do we say that Tails Sky Patrol is a prequel? Or is it after Sonic 2? Because we know Tails Adventure is a prequel. Tails Adventure happens before Sonic 2. Tails was already on something. Yeah, Tails Adventure happens before Sonic 2. Yeah, because it says right here, before he's been inspired by Sonic, Tails is living in serenity in the lost paradise of Cocoa Island. One fateful day, his home is found by Battle Cuckoo Army when they begin to violently searching for the fabled Chaos Emeralds. Tails sets out to drive off the invaders before you can yell Wolverines. Okay. So, let's put Sky Patrol. What's a good place for it? What's a good place for Sky Patrol? Is Tails Doll canon? Yeah, Tails Doll is canon. Tails doll is canon. There's nothing to say Sonic R isn't canon. So yeah, it's like, okay. I'm just trying to look for the plot of Tails. But yeah, Tails Sky Patrol. Where should we put Tails Sky Patrol? Make Sonic aware of the issue, so if it wasn't... No, because in Sky Patrol it says that he comes across. Tails comes to a remote island to find a Tormail. So this is when they're not hanging out together, and he comes here all by himself. And he just goes like, I can deal with it myself. This isn't that big of a deal. I can deal with it. Huh, never got an American release until Sonic Adventure DX. Interesting. Yeah, this was a Japanese-only game in 1995. So, if I had to make a guess... The other one makes sure to tell you it's a prequel, so this has to be after Sonic 2. Now, oh no, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Origins exists, so we know Sonic 3 happens directly after Sonic 2. Nothing happens between these two games. The Egghead crashes, he convinces Knuckles, and they go to fly off and see the damages, and then they meet Knuckles immediately. It literally happens in the course of like a day, and Eggman's just really fast at building carnivals. Wouldn't it be easier to figure out what isn't canon first and then go from there backwards? Yeah, but like we kind of already know which ones aren't completely canon. Well, okay, now actually let me check. Is anything in Sonic Drift contradictory to anything else? Well, we know Sonic Crackers isn't canon. And we know Sonic Eraser isn't canon. We know none of the educational games are canon. This game doesn't even exist. This isn't canon. I'm pretty sure Paku Paku Patrol Car isn't canon. But let me check. Does it have anything that like would contradict anything? Yeah, Sonic would never be a police. Sonic would never be a police officer. This is an alternate universe where Sonic's a narc. So, Waku Waku Patrol Car. Yeah, Sonic would never do that. That's not real. It's also the first time Sonic and Eggman had voice actors. No, Sonic Cosmo Fighter. Yeah, also. Yeah, I don't think that's canon either. Sorry guys. Sorry any yeah, Sonic Drift is, well, everything's in Sonic Origins Plus, but they didn't get like animated cutscenes or anything, but like, let me see, is there any story to this game? Like any story at all? I have to assume the Drift games aren't canon. Now the real question is, if Amy's car, her talking car, because I don't know if you guys remember this, Amy has a sentient car in Sonic Drift because Amy's just the best apparently. Now if she has that car in R, or anything, I don't think she has that car in R, but like let me see. Where would R be in this book? There he is, Sonic R. Okay. Sonic and Tails are drawn into the World Grand Prix where they learn Dr. Eggman's well. However, they soon find out the whole race is a ruse to keep Sonic distracted while the Doctor hunts for the Chaos Emeralds. Knuckles, never one to pass up a challenge to compete against Sonic, joins in as well. Amy, ever the enamored fangirl, chases Sonic to the starting line. Okay, so Sonic R has a story. It's just not a very important one. It actually has one. The Drift games do not have a story at all. And also, she has a different car in that game. That's the car that they show her using. She's never used the cars from Sonic Drift ever in any game after Sonic Drift 1 and 2. They have never, ever come up again. She's back in the breeze. She starts fast and handles well. Has a low top speed. Her special remains toss heart. Yeah. Sonic Drift 1 and 2. Yeah. I don't think the Drift games are canon. I don't think they are. They don't have any... Yeah, her first appearance in Sonic CD. Amy drives a quick to start, but overall slower breeze. Yeah, because she has breeze in the drift games, but that's never brought up again. And in Sonic R, she would be driving a car. She would be driving breeze. She did not drive breeze. There is no story for either game. They're just racing games. They're just racing games where they're racing for the emerald. Sonic R has a narrative, a very loose one, but it has one where they're while they're just distracting. Eggman's just distracting Sonic while he goes collect some Chaos Emeralds. So Sonic R is canon. The drift games are not. I think I'm pretty confident on that. Dream Team can't be canon because Sonic Shuffle is canon, which are both Dream Worlds time. The timeline says Sonic Shuffle is canon. Automatically means Dream Team is not canon. No, because I think those are two different things. Those are two different things because the thing with the Shuffle. Let's focus on classic era. We'll argue about modern era later. We're trying to get through the classic era first because the classic era is gonna be the hardest to pin down. Now, Spinball. Where would we put Spinball? Where would we put Spinball, guys? You guys got any ideas on that? Because let me look around for Spinball. Also, let me see. Beanville. And also, I would say Mean Bean Machine is not directly canon because it's the wrong Dr. Eggman. It's an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog game. It's not a Sonic game. It's not a mainline Sonic game because that. Now the Eggman and Spinball is Dr. Eggman taking over a volcanic Mount Mobius, turning into his new base, Veggie Fortress, using Chaos Emeralds to stabilize his shaky surroundings. He also used an abundant geothermal power to mass roboticize helpless animals. Sonic and Tails spring into action, but the tornado is shot down en route, leaving Sonic stranded on the base of Veggie Fortress. Sonic must climb and fight his way through the pinball-style defense armies to destroy Dr. Eggman's base from within and rescue the animals, which is the only time the SAT-AM characters have ever been in a Sonic game. Sonic Team Hard won Sonic 3, the Western brand. Sonic took an entirely Western crack at a Sonic game. With references to the tie-in cartoons of the time, Sonic platforms his way into a pinball adventure uniquely his own. Sonic is tasked with finding multiple Chaos Emeralds, which are all blue for some reason. They literally put that. They put that in the thing. Which are all blue for some reason. Climbing his way through Dr. Eggman's pinball theme was made. The Game Gear Masters weren't left out in the cold as they received ports of the same elements, albeit a different border layout and less content. Yeah. Spinball doesn't direct. We're using it, so we're gonna keep it as canon now. Where would we put it though? That's the real question. Where would we put Spinball? Spinball could kind of go anywhere. It's Sonic and Tails on the tornado. So let's just put it before Triple Trouble. Knuckles isn't in it. Knuckles isn't a friend or a foe. Let's put it before Triple Trouble. I don't like the game. No, I don't like the game either. I think I don't love pinball, and I barely got to Lava Powerhouse, and I was like, this is just boring. I'm just not having a good time. Like, this is just kind of frustrating. Frustrating and boring. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me at all. Was not my thing. But yeah. Let's just put Game Gear down here. 3D Blast. Oh yeah, this is 16-bit. That's not canon. Sonic 3D Blast. After 3 and Knuckles. It has to be after Knuckles and Sonic has settled some beef. So let's put it before the fighters. Let's put it before the fighters. Because Knuckles is just hanging out with you on that island. I don't like it, therefore it's not canon. Hey, you could kill it from the cannon. It doesn't change anything. Pretty sure Sonic Spinball. Nah, bro, it has a lot more than that. Ultraman is so successfully in securing the 6 Chaos Emeralds. Dr. Eggman has succeeded in Oh, this is the plot of Sonic Triple Trouble. Eggman has succeeded in secretly securing the 6 Chaos Emeralds and has used them to power his latest super weapon. The weapon's tests misfired, though, scattering the gems across the land. While Dr. Eggman recovered one, the 5 were lost to the special stage of subspace. Sonic and Tails catch the wind of Doctor's nefarious doings and set out to find the emeralds and stop the madman. Along the way, they run afoul of the treasure hunter Fing and Knuckles, who is once again tricked into thinking they are his enemies. Okay, so new information. I totally forgot about this. I remember I discovered this years ago. I was actually going to pull out my Sonic 2 video, but I totally forgot. So they call it the 6 Chaos Emeralds, which is different from the 7. So there's the 6 Chaos Emeralds, which seem to be notably weaker than the 7, because Eggman went to go search for the 6 Chaos Emeralds in Sonic Triple Trouble. So I think we can just guarantee that there is another set of Chaos Emeralds that are less powerful. There's a real set, which is the 7, which is the ones the ancients brought to Earth. The 6 are a different set. It totally shows how batshit crazy time scaling is in this game. Like, Eggman won't chill out for 1 second. Like, for 1 week. Like, dang, give it a rest, bro. Yeah, no, Sonic is so funny because, like, this guy is doing this every week. So, in total, those weaker Chaos Emeralds, there are 23 Chaos Emeralds on Earth. Yeah, it's just that they're all different sets, apparently. They're all different sets of emeralds. They're all different sets. Labyrinth. Where would Labyrinth go? So many Game Gear games. Where's Labyrinth? Sonic Blast. Ugh. This is Sonic Adventure, so it would be before Adventure. Labyrinth. Dr. Eggman has replaced Sonic's trademark shoes with the speed down shoes, robbing him of speed and agility. Now vulnerable, Sonic has been tossed into Eggman. Sonic embarks on an epic struggle to find the Chaos Emeralds, bust out of boots, and escape to freedom. Where would Labyrinth go? Has to be from, yeah, like I said in the video, filler Game Gear titles kind of just fit into a nebulous point before Sonic Mania. It'd be funny if we place it as the last game before Mania. That'd be funny. It's the last game before Mania because it doesn't have any other characters in it, so there's nothing to stop you. It's just that one time Eggman breaks into Sonic's house and just says, "I hate you, bro." Okay, no one said anything new and shit. Oh, the frames dropped like crazy for a while there. Glad it's back. Anyway. Okay. Sonic Chaos. Sonic Chaos takes place before Triple Trouble. I'm like 80% fucking sure, right? Like 90% sure about that. Because Triple Trouble's there. Learning with Sonic. Sonic Schoolhouse. Knuckles Chaotix. When did Sonic Chaos come out? Let me look at the... There should be a thing at the start for that. Like a index. Sonic Chaos, page 36. Sonic Chaos. Dr. Eggman has found one of the 6 Chaos Emeralds, and his search for the other 5 has made all the stuff items start sinking. It's up to Sonic and Tails to find the other emeralds and stop Dr. Eggman on the island. So, yeah. considering we're dealing with the 6, just like Triple Trouble, I'm going to connect it directly to that. I'm going to connect it directly to that since he's looking for the 6. Oh no, not the frame rate on my PNG video. Hey, I'm just glad it's not tweaking like it was earlier. Alright, okay, so Sonic Blast. That one has him teaming up with Knuckles, so they must have gotten over their beef by then. So it would have to be like after Sonic the Fighters, which would be the last time they would have had like active beef, because they actually worked together in that game. Oh yeah, now we're back at Tails Sky Patrol again. Also, I'm pretty sure this Super Sega Sonic Bros is not canon. Oh, see ya. Gotta go. Next time you need to tell me, you know this. See ya. Also, dude, when are we watching Gintama again? You kind of disappeared for the last month. Alright. Hopefully you heard that before you left. Alright. Let's continue. Oh yeah, and also Popcorn Machine Maker, not canon. Sorry. Jam, not canon. It's a compilation game. Jam's Game Jam, not canon. Sonic Music Maker, that's not canon. Mega Collection, it's a collection. It's not canon. 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 Tails Sky Patrol. Your Discord got suspended? What happened? Definitely text to me on Steam about that. Talk to me on Steam. We're still friends on Steam. But yeah, no. Hope you're doing all right, man. Have a good day. But yeah, Tails Sky Patrol. It could be. Bruh. That sucks. That sucks. But yeah, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah. So I was kind of worried because you were gone for a while. I was like, is he okay? Is he good? But yeah, alright. Tails Sky Patrol. Let's put it after Sonic 3. Like, they took a break from hanging out after Sonic 3. And Tails just went in and did his own thing. I think that's good. I think that's good. No, Spinball's canon. We put Spinball in there. Spinball's canon. We put it just it's in the spin-off territory where a lot of things happen after. Spinball just takes place after Sonic 3. Spinball just plays after Sonic 3. No, it's not Planet Mobius. That's not the name of the place. Volcanic Mount Mobius. The volcanic mountain is named Mobius. It's not the other way around. Alright, so that's the end of the classic era. Flicky, Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sega Sonic, Tails Adventure, Sonic 2 Game Gear, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Tails Sky Patrol, Sonic Spinball, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Triple Trouble, Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic R, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic the Fighters, Sonic Blast, Sonic Labyrinth, Sonic Mania Plus, then Sonic Superstars, which we know is the most recent game in the classic timeline. Alright, we're finally hopping to modern. So, Sonic 4, then we have Sonic Adventure, Sonic Shuffle, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Advance 2, because that's when they meet Cream, Rebellion, a masterpiece, this is Sonic Heroes, Shadow, Sonic Battle, Sonic Advance 3, and let's this is the Adventure era. The Adventure era ends with Sonic Advance 3. That's like kind of like where I consider that. That era kind of ends with Sonic Advance 3, which is kind of funny that Sonic 4 is rich, at least timeline-wise, is in the Adventure era, which is very funny. So, well, these are just DLCs. I mean, expansions. So most of the things that came out in that era are already there. But like I said, Sonic Advance 1 can kind of be placed kind of anywhere when you really think about it. Where is it? Where's Sonic Advance 1? Where's Sonic Advance 1? There it is, Sonic Advance. You could play Sonic Advance kind of anywhere before Advance 1. I say it takes place after Sonic Adventure, before Sonic Adventure 2. It can take place after Adventure 2 also. It could take place either way. I mean, Sonic can grind, so let's just assume... let's assume it's after SA2, actually. We could be fun and put it before SA2, but if we just want to be, go by also game mechanics on top of that, he can grind in Sonic Advance 1. So let's just put it after Adventure 2. So again, doesn't really matter, just it takes place before Heroes. Advance 1 and 2 take place before Heroes. But I think there's nothing really else from that era that needs placement. That era is really mapped out. That's what I was saying. The classic timeline is where it's going to be the most complicated. Everything afterwards is kind of easy. Oh yeah, mobile game. Mobile games don't have stories, so they're not canon. Alright. Also, crossover games are not canon. Like Sonic All-Stars Racing, not canon. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform, not canon. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Anything else from that era of the franchise that we're missing? Oh, Sonic Pocket Adventure. I guess you could say Sonic Pocket Adventure happens after Sonic 4, but before Sonic Adventure. I think that would be the best place to put it, timeline-wise. Because he has green eyes, so let's just assume he's modern Sonic in that game. Oh no, Rivals, that's going to be in the modern era, which is 2005, starting with Rush. So, any more spin-offs? No, oh yeah, because this isn't canon, this isn't canon, this isn't canon, this isn't canon, this isn't canon. None of the Mario Sonic games are canon. The Olympic Games are not canon. Sonic Athletes is not canon. There's Sonic Shuffle, and it happens between Adventure 1 and 2. Where'd it go? There we go. Alright. Yeah, these are just expansions. Well, Sonic Colors DS actually can just go next to Sonic Colors. They kind of both happen nebulously. Like, they both happen, actually. Sonic N. What's Sonic N again? Oh, it was just Sonic Advance for the N-Gage. Okay. Well, then it doesn't really matter. It's just a port. Takes place after Sonic Adventure 2 Trust. Sonic Generations 3DS is not canon. Oh yeah, 3DS did not happen. 3DS specifically did not happen. Yeah, let's be clear about that. And Lost World 3DS is the same as the console version with some additions. But alright. Okay, so I think with the Adventure era, it's pretty simple. Sonic 4, Sonic Pocket Adventure, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Shuffle, Sonic 2, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Battle, and then Sonic Advance 3 is the end of that era of the franchise. Like that, all these games are supposedly supposed to be connected because this is the same Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, which is the same one in Mania, which is the same one in Sonic 4, which is the same one in Heroes. And then after Heroes, that's when he loses all his ability. And yeah, Battle and Advance happen right after Sonic Shadow the Hedgehog. There was an alien invasion, and then we had to deal with some other stuff right afterwards. It's kind of funny. Okay, so if we go into modern era, we got Rush, 06, which happens but doesn't happen right after it happens. The Writers, Rush Adventure, Zero Gravity, World Adventure, which is Unleashed, Colors, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Free Riders, which this was actually something I didn't know. I did not know. I didn't know that. It's like this was actually new. I never really knew where the Riders games fit in the timeline. Number one, it seems like they were just doing them in between adventures, and then I didn't know that they considered Free Riders to happen after Sonic X Shadow, after Generations and before Lost World. I didn't know they considered it to take place after Gens. I guess because it makes sense to place it after Gens, because Colors and Generations happen like right after each other. They happen real close after each other. So, and Eggman has to be around, because the time period between Colors and Gens, there's no Eggman. Nothing can happen between Colors and Gens. Because Eggman was in space, so nothing can happen between those two. Colors and Gens are one of the few Sonic games that are directly connected. So you can't fit anything in between those two. Alright. So, time to put the storyboard games. Now, this has always been my headcanon, right? So, I think because 06 didn't happen, it's like, okay, so things have changed now. Because, like, Secret Rings, I always put Secret Rings right before Sonic Unleashed. I put it before Unleashed. And then I put Black Knight afterwards. After Unleashed. Because the date line mentioned. But the reason why I put that there is because I always, like, what my joke always is because how did Eggman get that giant, it's like, it seems like Sonic is showing up late to a party. Like, when Eggman has all the stuff in the sky and everything, like, he has that giant air fleet and everything. Like, Eggman had some time. I think it was because Sonic was in the storybook. Because that's my bit. That's my justification where I always put Secret Rings before Unleashed. Like, Sonic just woke up from Secret Rings and went to go out. Because it's also kind of funny, because 06 didn't happen, Sonic at this point, yeah, it's like hadn't used the Chaos Emeralds in a minute, I guess, in a mainline game. Because this one didn't happen, but never mind. I guess he would still have the... Because they don't use the emeralds. I guess you could say in between Sonic Riders, Zero Gravity, he collected the Chaos Emeralds off screen, or you could just say that there was a game that happened before Unleashed starts. You could say that, but yeah. Sonic Unleashed PS2, mobile, we just put them all over there. Don't have to worry about those. But yeah, that's where I put the storybook games. And those are the only ones that are missing right now. Because this is when the Sonic... Oh, Rivals! I totally forgot. So Sonic Rivals is canon. Because that's when Sonic and Silver meet. So that has to happen... Ooh, you could place that either before or after Riders. I think it's best to put it before... Like, right after 06. Like, instead of 06 happening, Sonic Rivals happens. And Sonic Rivals 2, you could kind of put that anywhere afterwards. As long as it's before Colors. Right? Like, where would you put that? Let me see if there's any specific plot details on Rivals 2. That, like, that might contradict something. 176. Yeah, this is also when we have modern. Large numbers of Chow have gone missing around the world. Sonic and Tails team up to find the little water babies. Meanwhile, Knuckles is hunting down the missing Master Emerald. He is found by Rouge, who barters her help in exchange for his in her mission to find the Chaos Emeralds. Elsewhere, Vector sends SBO to keep tabs on Silver and find out his connection to the missing Chow. Meanwhile, Shadow is contacted by Dr. Eggman via Metal Sonic and enlisted in stopping the culprit behind it all, Eggman Nega. Rivals' paths interweave as their various ambitions bring them to blows. SBO uncovers that Silver has returned to save the past from Ifrit, a fire interdimensional demon that feeds on Chow. Eggman Nega plans on empowering and unleashing the beast with the kidnapped Chow. The rivals brave the Ifrit Infernal Dimension. Do battle with Eggman Nega Metal Sonic 3.0 and save the Chow. The dimensional rift is sealed, leaving Eggman Nega trapped in the burning abyss. Okay. Alright, let me check something. What was the story of Sonic Rivals 1? Eggman Nega returns from the future on Onyx Island. Yeah, so it has to take place after Rush, I guess. The future incarnation of Angel Island, he uses a powerful future tech camera, transfer people in the Master Emerald and the cards. He does all this to disguise as Eggman in an attempt to rewrite history and ensure the name Eggman lives on glory rather than infamy. Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. This Eggman Nega thing is actually gonna... I'm just so glad I'm black, so if I accidentally say Eggman Nigga, it's not really a problem. But, alright. Okay. Where's Rush Adventure? Where is Rush Adventure? Because what's the plot of that game again? Sonic and Tails are caught in a terrible storm and awaken on unfamiliar shore. They are found by a precocious marine. Soon realize they're somehow but transported across dimensions to Blaze's world. The happy reunion is short-lived as they must foil the robot pirate Captain Whiskers. Surprising no one, the captain is a front for an ambitious Dr. Eggman and Eggman Nega. Together they seek together a relic called the Jewel Scepter and said to control the power of the stars. The dimensional energy of Sonic and Blaze's reality. While the Eggman managed to steal the Jewel Scepter, Super Sonic and Burning Blaze chase him. Okay. So, because of that, we gotta assume that Rivals actually has to be after Rush Adventure. I think you gotta put it after that. I think that's the best case for it. You got to put them right after Rush Adventure. You could even have Rivals 2 after Zero Gravity if you just don't want the games right next to each other. But you kind of have to have them in Rush Adventure. Huh. Because Eggman Nega dies at the end of Rivals 2. So he can't appear anymore. The whole Eggman Nega... side plot is its own thing. Kind of crazy. Alright. Okay. Alright. Runners can go literally anywhere if it is canon. If we want to say Runners is canon, just put it after Lost World. Because Forces is too far. Forces is like a defining moment. Like Forces happens so dramatically that like you get like that's why I put it in the post Forces era, because it's kind of like a bookend to this whole time place. It's like you kind of don't do anything after that. So, and the series, like even Team Sonic Racing takes place before Forces, because then anyone would be talking about Forces. That's why Frontiers is after Forces. Now the real question is Dream Team after? We know Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is after Frontiers, and Sonic Cross World is going to be, oh yeah, Chronicles not canon. We know that Cross Worlds is going to be after Frontiers because Sage is in it, so it confirms his post Frontiers. So we know that. We know that. We have that on lock, on paper. We know that. Now, the only question would be... Okay, I'm pretty sure Pinball Party isn't canon. I'm pretty sure Rumble isn't canon. I'm pretty sure it's just a game. But, Dream Team. Where the fuck does Dream Team, though? Do we have any info on that? Someone was asking this. Okay, so other people are arguing. I'll take it to other people on that one. Flynn, because I was checking to see if Flynn said anything about that, because he's the closest thing to official outside of this that we get. So it is a post-Frontiers game. Because Sage isn't in it, let's assume it's a post-Frontiers game, but before Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, because Sage shows up in the end credits of that game. And I'm pretty sure Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is canon. Is it? Let me check. Is it canon? Oh, it's non-canon. Never mind. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is not canon. It didn't happen. Dream Team happened, and Sonic Racing happened, but Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is a non-canon thing. So, Sonic Murder. Okay. Okay. So we got it. This is the timeline. What's the plot of Flicky again? Because we put Flicky before Sonic 1 because it's just where it's supposed to be. But like, is there did Flicky even appear? Like, what's the plot of Flicky? Yeah, Flicky's the first game, but it doesn't have any story basis. Okay, we did it. We did it. We got ourselves a timeline, baby. We got ourselves a timeline. We got ourselves a timeline. I'm gonna save this. And download this image because I want this to be my guide when I make a video about a Sonic timeline. We got less argumentative as it goes on because after a while, there's less things to fill in the blanks. And Super left, and Super doesn't. Super disagrees with me on all that stuff. But yeah, I think that was. I think that was productive. I might play Unleashed later. Depends on if my sister's back home from college, so we're gonna do some stuff together. So it depends on how that goes. Depends on if I play Unleashed in a little bit or not. I'm just glad I got Wi-Fi to work in a semi-consistent way. Listen. Was it successfully downloaded? Let me go check. Well, it's time for the... now it's time for the final... Now talk about Kingdom Hearts timeline. Well, that's easy. Kingdom Hearts is easy. That's not even complicated. Just a lot of games. The first game is first it's the key games, for the mobile game, and then there's first there's that, then Birth by Sleep, then 0.2, and then Kingdom Hearts 1, and then Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days happen at the exact same time, then Kingdom Hearts 2, then Recoded, and then Dream Drop Distance, and then 0.2 technically takes place before, during, and after Kingdom Hearts 1. So you can kind of play it whenever. I guess if you could either play it before you play Kingdom Hearts 1, or you could play it after you play Kingdom Hearts 1. Either way, it happens before, during, and after. And then, I'm like, am I missing a game? No, I'm not. And then 3, and then Melody and Memories, and the Remind DLC, Kingdom Hearts is easy. It's not a complicated timeline, it's just a lot of games. And then also, if you want to and also a lot to explain if you want the plot. But the game's in order? Oh, that's not hard. I can do that off the cuff. I don't even think I missed a game. Did I miss a game? No, I got Recoded. 358. Game. 1, 2, and 3. Dream Drop. Key games. For, mobile. Melody and Memories. Yeah, I didn't miss a single one. Would you say Perfect Chaos is imperfect? Yes, because no one can be Cell. Only one person can be perfect. P is for priceless. The look upon all your faces. P is for. It's a good bit. All right, I think we got it. I think we got everything. That time it actually downloaded. I'll label that, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap this stream up. I wanted to do this Friday. This would have been supposed to be a quick thing, and I was supposed to stream Unleashed today, but my internet said no. I hate you personally, so I had to fix that. But I got at least something to work for when my internet is tweaking. I can figure something out for that. So now I have a thing I can do, which is good. We can roll with this. All right. Either see you guys. I should see you guys maybe tomorrow. That's when I'm gonna try and finish off the Unleashed stuff. I'm gonna finish off the Unleashed DLC, and I already have some short video ideas. I might make a video about the Werehog because I realized why he doesn't work for me, and I need to explain it in a video format with evidence and proof, and hopefully it gets picked up by the algorithm. And then I want to make a more general gaming video pretty soon that has nothing to do with Sonic, and then fully working on part 2 of the Gens thing. It's just I want to get some smaller projects off the ground before I hop right back into such a huge project. I already have all the footage recorded that I need because I did a lot of pre-work. I have up to Seaside Hill recorded, by the way. I'm very far into the future. I have the next 3 videos fully recorded with all the routes, all the stuff that I need. Don't worry about that. That's getting done. That's already done. So the recording part isn't going to take very much. I just have to actually start writing the next part. All right. Well, see you guys maybe tomorrow.